that there is enough hands on deck for issues with job loss, financial issues, relationship problems, addiction, you name it. But what about those of you suffering with inner ear disorders that have anxiety and mental health problems and declines? And that's why I think I can be a good asset, because I feel like this kind of condition isn't really well talked about, isn't documented as well. If you go on Google and you search problems with the inner ear relating to mental health problems, you're going to get a few articles here and there from some really well-known institutions, but there's not really a clear-cut way to kind of like combat some of these problems. And a lot of you are continuously facing it, and you're just not understanding where this all is coming from. Some of you are smart enough now to really dive in and figure out, okay, I think that I'm triggering this stuff. I'm triggering these anxiety bouts. I'm triggering some of these things. You're starting to kind of find that correlation between, all right, I feel not that great, but I don't have a bout. I don't have that panic. I don't have that worry, that sweating, the depression, that lingering feeling. You're realizing that the mind is a lot more decisive about bringing these symptoms on than you probably ever could imagine. But the question is, how do I get rid of it? Well, I wish I could really answer all of your questions in one video, but what I can do is I can answer some of those questions, and I can even point you to things that you can do without having to go a whole bunch of places, see a whole bunch of providers, get ran from here to there, and still don't know where to go from there. After you've been to all these doctor's offices, you're still wondering, why do I have this ringing going on in my ear? Why do I feel suddenly this depression and this anxiety? Why is my mental health so bad all of a sudden? Why do I have this clogging sensation? All these things are correlating together. And you may have thought, okay, maybe I'm allergic because you've been told you were allergic to something, but you've never had a history of being allergic to anything. And if you were allergic to certain things, you knew what they were by now in this phase of life, that you knew enough to avoid them. I've been told everything under the sun. I've been told I was allergic to this. I was allergic to gluten. I had gluten issues. I had to be on all types of medication. I've been told I have narrowing of my nasal passages, so I might need surgery. I've been told all of these things. I've been talked into doing chiropractic care. I've been talked into doing all these types of therapies, and it just didn't get any easier for me. In fact, because of the fact that I've been told all these things, I actually began to get anxiety over all these things because I felt like it was just so much clutter. How do I dig and weave through all these things? Well, I'm going to keep this very simple. I'm going to keep this very strategic, but I'm going to help you watch this video without all the anxiety. There's no need to watch this video if you're going to feel anxiety about all these things you have to go do now. Things that are not even within your realm to do. Some of you are not even in an area. You're in a rural area where you can't access all these therapies and doctors. Well, I'm going to give you a simple enough remedy in order to get through some of these inner ear disorders. And you're going to be like, wow, how did this slip by my awareness? Well, the first thing that I want you to do, some of these are not, I don't want to insult anybody, so some of these are going to sound almost too basic to be true, but it's really what the problem is. We're not basic enough, if that even makes sense. Sometimes you do need to be basic. But the one thing I wanted you to do is I want you to stop trying to treat it as an allergy problem. Now, is this to say, disclaimer, is this to say that there is no one on this earth that has allergy problems that have given you this inner ear problems now, this Eustachian problems, these tinnitus issues? No, because yes, there are people walking this earth right now that have had all these things we talked about that really do have allergy related problems due to diet, environmental issues, things like that. But for those of you that were like me, you were that rare little case of people. And I won't even say rare because the numbers are showing that it's climbing by the day, by the hour. But I'm going to speak to a lot of you out there that do not have allergies. You don't have, again, you may have allergies to other things, not this, not inner ear problems. You have to do your best. If you're going to see a provider, they're going to strictly focus on allergies. Most of them will. They don't really get into the mental side of things. They don't explain to you that, let's just give you a scenario here. You did get a cold, and that cold didn't leave you as smoothly as it should have. And yes, it gave you all these clogging ears. It gave you all these nasal problems now. But now you're kind of dealing with ear issues now. And the ear issues didn't go away the way they should have gone away. And now, because of the time frame of it staying around and lingering, now you have anxiety issues now. Now you're anticipating every problem, and everything that you do is related to your ear problems. And in fact, the ear problem is still there. What you need to do is you need to do your absolute best to not treat this thing as if you're trying to get rid of some kind of allergy. What you want to do is try to be as simple and basic as you possibly can, which means is the best thing to do is to try to not overdo anything. What I mean by that is the first thing that you're going to feel you need to do is a lot of different things. It's a symptom. It's a thing that happens with this problem, with inner ear problems. I don't know why, but you get into this panic. It's only this type of sensation that I've ever felt. This condition has made me feel like I need to do a bunch of things. Stop right there. Don't do a bunch of things. If you do too many things, not only is it going to confuse your body and make you react to too many different things, it's going to make you not know what's working and what is working. So that's the first step. Don't panic and do a bunch of different things. And you're like, Jay, what do you mean different things? What kind of different things? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, what I did is I went out and just went shopping for myself one day, bought a bunch of different herbs from this tea shop. I bought all these different things like ginkgo biloba and all these like a neti pot. I did have a neti pot. I bought all these different types of like organic leaves and herbs, and I tried to make my own teas. And then I also went and I bought a bag of saline, and I was like, okay, so I need a steamer now. I went and bought a steaming machine. I bought all these different things, and I was like, okay. Every single day that nothing changed, nothing had improved, it just completely slashed my happiness away. It just completely thrashed my feeling of hope, because I had done all these things. I've spent all this money, all this effort, all this research, and I'm like, what is going on here? I had all these different herbs and teas and drops. I had a bunch of drops that has been given to me by allergists. I've had nasal sprays. I had all these things laid out, and all it did was make my situation worse. It took the confidence of myself out of the picture, because I thought I had to put my confidence in all these other items and things, and that actually made the situation far worse. So the first step is don't do that. Don't go buy a bunch of different things. Keep it very basic. Just look at where you are right now. Look at what you're doing right now. Are you drinking enough water? Are you sleeping enough? And I'm going to talk to you like an elementary school person, because that's what I had to be talked to. I had to be talked to like an elementary school person, because I was thinking I needed all these other things, and I didn't need all these like complex things. And it's not to say that those things that I named were bad, but when you're buying them in a sense of panic and then you're feeling the sense of frantic, like you buying all these things, it's just throwing your body chemistry off. The natural ability to heal from things is throwing everything completely out of whack. And then you don't know what you're doing. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is, once you've analyzed the basic things, again, water, sleeping, not too much protein, not too much carbs, a nice balanced diet, plenty of greens, leave the alcohol alone, cut out the caffeine, invest in time to stretch your neck, your back, your quads, everything. Basic stuff, right? You don't have to spend any money for anything I just named right now. You just do the basic stuff, okay? So that's number one. Number two is you want to do your absolute best. Now this one's probably the hardest. This was definitely challenging. Number two is you want to do your best to not skip out on things that you've already prearranged to do. Things that are good, things that you do need to do, things that you have done before, but now you don't think you can do now. So like maybe a long travel, maybe a plane ride, maybe a jog, because you think, okay, I can't go jogging because maybe I'll get too, these are things that I thought, so I'm not just making none of this up. I can't jog and get my heart too elevated, because then if I start panicking, my heart's already elevated, and that can't be good for everything. That can't be good for my carotid arteries. That can't be good for blood pressure. I went through all of that. So if you're a jogger and you have experience jogging, you have experience exercising, you need to still be able to do those things. Of course, if you've been told by your doctor to cut out any physical activity for whatever reason that you're going through any kind of treatment, of course, that's different. But if you feel the way you do and you feel like this anxiety and you feel like, okay, I used to be a pretty good active person, then maybe I should stop doing that stuff because I've had anxiety now. Don't change who you are, because then you're putting yourself in the box. You're putting yourself in this shoe box now, and you're going to be stuck there for too long. And then your anxiety is going to get worse because now you're not doing the things you love, the things that you used to do, and you're going to start comparing you now to you then. And then it's just, that brings the anxiety level up again. So number 2, stick to your original plan of what you were doing before this whole thing went haywire. Don't change yourself in that way. If you're going to change, make sure it's a change that you want to make with intention. Don't make a change because you think this condition is making you think you need to change. So that's number 2. And number 3, I'm just going to do 3 today because 3 is enough to not feel overwhelmed, but enough to feel satisfied. Number 3 is you need to be consistent. You need to really think about how this whole thing came on. Like, for example, it didn't come overnight. Regardless if you feel like it didn't really happen overnight. So we can't expect to get rid of it overnight. But we can expect that we can feel better each day. That's the part that you hold on to. Hold on to the part where you can actually start to make improvements each day. Don't go for the stars in this sense. Don't shoot for those stars right now. Shoot for the little gradual wins, the little gradual victories. Like, oh, I felt less clogging a little bit more. I felt the clogging not bothering me as much today. That's a victory. I felt the need to go out with my friends. That's a victory. I felt the need to exercise today. I felt the need to do my job the way I've been doing my job at my employer, sees my efforts, and like, there's no anxiety now. I feel like I can do what I've been doing. That's a victory. So you need to do these 3 things. You really have to do your absolute best to stick to this program. It's very basic, but very effective. And what it's going to do is it's going to bring your awareness to what I just said. It's not going to educate you from the unknown. It's going to educate you from the awareness factor. See, a lot of times a lot of you are all well educated. Education is not always a problem. It's the awareness of what you have in your possession at hand right now. Being aware is just as detrimental as being uneducated. What good is education if you don't know where to apply it and how to apply it? Or you don't know you even have it to apply it. So this video is to not pull something out of this mystery box that's been dug up from an underground cave in a very rural place in New Zealand. This is to tell you that you already have it at your possession and you need to put attention to it. You need to put awareness to it. Once you have done those things, you will see a dramatic improvement in your health by simply just being aware and actually putting attention to it to make yourself aware of the situation enough to want to get through it. And you have all the tools you don't need to buy anything. My books are out there. You don't even need to buy those books. You don't need to buy my book. You have it already. But if you like to buy my book, sure, it's available. But if you don't, you're going to be fine. You have to be aware of what you have in your possession. Don't go out and spend a lot of money. Don't go out and fight with insurance companies to get something covered if you don't have to. Use what you already have, do it with intention, and be consistent at it. And I promise you, and I'm going to that level, I promise you, doing what I just told you, you're going to get through it. You're going to be cured from it. And I just want all of you to understand that, because I don't think you're being told that. I think you're always being told you need something more. You need to do this. You need to do this more. You need to do that more. That's true, but that more doesn't have to come out of your wallet. That more doesn't have to come out of your daily routine, and that more doesn't have to be something you make yourself do all the time, that completely out of your character. So I hope this video was very helpful for you. If it was, please take time to subscribe to the channel. I try to bring content as often as possible. But in the meantime, I'm going to step out of the Jaye Wellness Studio and leave you in good hands with this video. Like anything else, folks, we are here to simply go back to the basics. Take care, everybody, and I will catch you in the next video.